Hadrian's Wall is one of the north of England's most popular tourist destinations, attracting over 750,000 visitors in 2009. For almost 2,000 years it has dominated the landscape here in England's far north, running over 70 miles from the North Sea to the Solway Firth. Hadrian's Wall is a world-class attraction, but there are other fascinating things to be seen in this area, and I'm going to show you one of them. It's a couple of miles south of here, it's owned by the National Trust, and it's a real gem. Allen Banks and Staward Gorge is the largest area of ancient woodland remaining in Northumberland. It's 100 acres of forest that survived much like it is today since at least medieval times. This long history and some careful management over generations has helped make it a valuable refuge for native flora, fauna and fungi, some of which are under threat elsewhere in Britain. It's about midway between Newcastle and Carlisle, signposted from the main A69 road and served by regular trains to Bardon Mill. From the main entrance, the track follows the Allen River south towards the High Pennines. This is a wild river running free from its source to the South Tyne. We're just a few minutes from the car park here, and yet already the magic of this place has started to take hold. It's a mixture of sight, sound and smell. There's a theory that spending just a few days every year in natural places like this has a profound positive effect on our mental and physical well-being. If you think about it, it makes sense because for millions of years human beings lived in environments like this, long before they started living in villages, towns or cities. Maybe there's a genetic memory handed down from generation to generation from our ancestors that makes it feel calming and relaxing to be in a place like this. A plaque beside the trail commemorates the acquisition of this land by the National Trust in 1942 from its then owner Francis Bowes-Lyon. Allen Banks is open all year round, and that's as it should be, because summer or winter there's always something to see. Many species of woodland birds that are in decline in the rest of Britain can be found here, as the woodlands provide a patchwork of habitats to suit all comers. And this is one of the best places in the northeast for fungi, with 181 species recorded on the estate. This chain bridge across the river links to a shorter walk back to the car park via the Morley Tarn and a minor road, but we're plodding on as there's lots more to see up ahead. Soon the river bends to the right and tucks beneath Raven Crag. Here the National Trust's boundary is reached and you enter the nature reserve at Briarwood Banks. This woodland has seen continuous growth dating back to the end of the last ice age some 10,000 years ago. The reserve has been given the status of a Site of Special Scientific Interest, or SSSI. An SSSI is a protected area, a special zone where some flowers or animals or geological formations are of particular importance to scientists. It's protected by law, so we have to stick to the trail. After Briarwood Banks, the path turns east, where it meets a new footbridge across the River Allen. We are now at Planky Mill, which is about halfway to our goal. Soon the waters of the Allen start to speed up and get agitated, while walls of rock signal the start of Staward Gorge. It's incredible to think that the river began carving its way through these rocks millennia ago, long before humans ever came along to make their mark. And it's still going on. Even today, the thrashing, turbulent waters here going through the gorge are wearing through the rock one grain at a time. The conifer trees here are not native. They've been planted as a cash crop to make wood chips and paper. But they have a dark beauty of their own. They sigh and whisper in the slightest breeze. Here the path splits and we're heading up a steep track to the remains of a medieval stone fortification, Staward Peel. The ruins of this once impregnable fortress stand on a promontory 130 metres above the river, accessed only along a narrow causeway or by scrambling up the sides. Staward Peel was originally built of timber by Anthony de Lucy of the nearby village of Langley. The word peel is from the medieval French for palisade or stockade. It was later strengthened with thick stone walls. The strategic importance of this place was recognised 2,000 years ago by the Romans, who built a signal station here in direct line of sight to another on Hadrian's Wall to the north. And Roman stonework has been found incorporated into the foundations of this medieval structure. Victorian archaeologists also found the remains of a temple to the Roman god Jupiter. By that time, Staward Peel had become a ruin, much of the stone taken away to build nearby farms and houses. Today, the remains offer walkers magnificent views across the river gorge and surrounding forest. Recent research published by the National Trust suggests as many as 20% of today's youngsters have never experienced wild places like Allen Banks and Staward Gorge. Older walkers here, asked about their views, had a variety of opinions on the reasons, but all agreed these youngsters are missing out on an important part of their growing up.
I think childhood is such an important part of life that if you don't have the experiences while you're a child, where do you end up in the long run?
I think a lot of people now live in urban environments where they see very little of the change of the seasons and things like that, and I think it can help your spiritual welfare to come to places like this and see how things change.
It's better probably, I think, if more of the families bring their children out, just to introduce them to the wonders of this country.
It's a leisurely 3-hour walk from the car park entrance to Staward Peel and back. A fascinating stroll through world-class scenery incorporating over 2,000 years of our history and a welcome respite from the stresses of everyday modern life. In anyone's language, it's a charmed valley worthy of conservation for future generations.